Well, the 22nd edition of the COSAFA Cup comes down to this, the last day, which, well, of course, has given us so many exciting days in the past week and a half here. This competition, of course, we are in Umlazi, in an area famous for notable people such as the likes of Kayantetwa, Brilliant Kuzwayo, Chef Zwani, not forgetting Central Mediwa as well. Now, in keeping things moving along here, we've, of course, been down here at the King's Valentino Stadium, the King, and some like to refer to it as, and while the fans have come out from the opening day at this venue, it's at this venue where we will shut matters down for this year's tournament, and those that have come out and stayed on throughout the start of the tournament have done their bits, brought their best forward in the way of a spirit that's carried through and resonated throughout the 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, and we're grateful to see them here once again on the final day, early in as far as the final day is concerned, for what should be an exciting game here between these two sides. Now, keep in mind, Friday, Malawi and Lesotho led to a 1-1 scoreline, then South Africa went on to lose to Zambia, with Lesotho moving on in penalties, keeping in mind to put their place in the final later on today, meaning right now those that have come out early have come out to enjoy Malawi up against South Africa for the 3 o'clock kickoff. Then later on, the final, with Lesotho looking for their first crowning and as the COSAFA Cup champions, Zambia looking for a record 7th. That match will kick off at 6 this evening. And that's the excitement we have coming your way during the course of today. I am Caesar Mapena, proud to be next to William Shongwe, and this sort of atmosphere we've enjoyed from the opening day right through to the last Shongwe. Boy, are we grateful for it.
Indeed, you know what basically it helps us with is like we feed off the crowd and just the excitement levels that are there, and we're looking forward to having more of this as the game progresses.
What we're also looking forward to is hearing the thoughts of Patrick Mabedi from Malawi, as well as Morena Ramaribodi of South Africa, who spoke to William Shongwe earlier on in the day. Let's revisit those conversations.
Playing for bronze, coach, is nothing compared to playing for gold or silver. How have you prepared the mindset of the players?
Yes, absolutely. It was nice if you compete for gold and silver, but at the same time, I think it's important also to work for something that is remaining. So with that, I think we need to double our effort and we need to work hard so that at least we can get something than nothing.
Decisions made earlier in the competition on how you wanted to come out, but there could be some lessons learned when you look at the summary or what has happened so far.
Yeah, look, there's so many things that we learn. We learn that if we don't concede, there's a possibility always to win the game. That's the first thing, and it happened to us. And we learn that if you don't pay attention in detail, like doing basic things of closing opponent and allow not to mark, also we learn and we get hit against Lesotho. So there's a lot of things that we learn, but a lot of things also there's more into positive. So it's not a learning as such, but it's also a matter of doing more repetitions of things that we did well. So I think there's so many things that we will take it from this tournament and go back and try to do more repetitions so that we can improve more.
Hey, wholesome change in as far as the changes made coming to this game. What would you think can still be achieved from that?
Look, there's opportunity for these young ones that are coming in. Obviously, we in a way of trying to develop the youngsters. So I think by changing and giving them opportunity, it will help them to see them for future purposes. Because we had a project that we need to try to maintain these youngsters for maybe for a long period of time. So I think if we give them chance like this and they play, and there's a possibility that we may get maybe some also players that we know they can fit in the play that we.
All of the best, coach.
Thank you so much.
Coach, you're playing for third place, but it doesn't mean you need to lower the standard or the tempo. You still need to have a winning mentality.
The same attitude we started the tournament with will still be the same tournament. the same attitude we give today. This match is as important as all the matches we have played. That's one part that we have tried also to mention to our boys, that they still need to approach this match with the same attitude, the same energy.
Beside winning for South Africa, for you personally, what would you like to see, say, from some of the players that are here?
I have two things which I really wish they could come true or they could happen. One, I wish most of the guys who are out of contract with their talent, I wish they get teams which will give them an opportunity to showcase their talent. And secondly, I wish to see most of them getting an opportunity or a regular place maybe in the Bafana, because I believe that with what I saw in just a very short space of time, I've seen players who adapt quickly and who are willing to work hard. So I believe that getting an opportunity will help them to grow as players, and will also help us as a country to have more number of players whom we can choose from.
Obviously, you're giving a chance to a number of those that maybe didn't get a chance, but you still need to win this game.
It is very important. The fortunate part is that we have about 3 who are playing for the first time today. Ditejane and Gumete will be starting. They are playing for the first time. But those are players that one would say they know the pressure they've been in with the national team setups. They know what is happening. So we have tried our level best to make sure that whoever that is here gets an opportunity to play. So we are also giving them minutes and make sure that they show what they can do, because they are very talented. As young as they are, they deserve the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Coach, and all of the best.
Thanks a lot, and God bless.
The losing semi-finalists of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup of 2023 have a chance to go out on a high as the Kings Wellington Stadium in Umnazi starts the day with the 3rd and 4th playoff between an exciting Malawi and a talented South Africa. Match day 10, the final match day of 2023 Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup, starts with the 3rd and 4th playoff, which traditionally is not a match many look forward to, but I'll tell you what, at this COSAFA Cup, many have come out early to enjoy what should be a very good 3rd and 4th playoff, where both coaches have assured us they come into this game maintaining their winning mentality. William Changwen sitting alongside me here in a game between two nations that have entertained so far this year.
I think Malawi will be very disappointed to find himself playing in this losers final, because they came out and gave their best, and they automatically became the favorite to go all the way to the finals. That didn't happen, and like Mabedi said, it'll be nice to walk away with at least something in this tournament. But I guess for South Africa, they want to be able to give something to the fans that have continuously come to support them here.
Stand up for the national anthem of Malawi. Stay as you are for the national anthem of South Africa.
met on 6 occasions in the COSAFA Cup in the past. South Africa has won 2, Malawi has won 1, 3 have ended in draws. So Malawi will look to, well, edge a little bit closer in tying that record and trying to, in the future, go beyond the South African wins. For now, it's about ending what's been a very positive tournament off in the brightest way possible for both these nations. Now, for Malawi and South Africa, plenty of changes in the starting 11, and it'll be interesting to see how those changes affect the style they've brought into the tournament. 8 changes for Malawi, and well, for one, they will look to Ramek on the right side of defense to, of course, come through. Good Willett will be playing in the deep line midfield position. But Kawanga, he is one of those that keeps his place out in the attack, wearing the number 10 jersey. Watch out for him, he's exciting.
3 at the back, which means 5 in the middle, 2 up front. But Kawanga, of course, an Impasi who's maybe making it for the second time into the starting, will be key. But it's this midfield that, for me, Malawi, the plan is to congest it, to make it difficult for Bafana to play through.
As Malawi go through their changes, it's no different from a South African point of view. In the way of their starting lineup, 6 changes they've made. Mabasa maintains his place. He scored 3. Amongst the changes comes in Human, the man who scored the first goal in the COSAFA Cup for South Africa. Watch out for 19-year-old Kumete playing in the heart of defense, looking for a good showing.
Lots of creativity in that middle of the park. Palace alongside Kobedu. And they'll be looking to balance their acting as far as defending and being offensive at the same time. Yes, Mabasa holds the top line striking position in the hope that he'll get the necessary support for him to continue this fine vein of form.
The referee, David Medita from Lesotho, assisted by Zamani Smelani from Eswatini. The second assistant is Stephen Dugase from the Seychelles. The fourth official in this third and fourth playoff, Teminkosi Itamini, another from Eswatini in as far as the officials go. Patrick Mabedi, well, he's running the changes here and looking to find some youngsters that will, of course, push the squad on forward. But captain in the side is the experienced Idana, one who's been ever present in the Malawian side, one of the better players so far in this tournament, I do believe is safe to say. But then Ramaribodi, he's been there, done it before in going the distance with South Africa and getting glory in the COSAFA Cup a couple of editions ago. He will look to Mohammed to wear the captain's armband. Now the Sundowns defender maintaining his position as an ever-present part of the South African starting 11 in the heart of the South African defense. It is South Africa to get this game underway. They will attack the right of your picture. Malawi will attack the left of your picture. For those that need the absolute breakdown here, South Africa in the familiar gold and green, and Malawi in the traditional red. You can see more and more fans arriving in this venue as we build up towards kickoff already. The far side grandstand lets you know we have a very good showing in the turnout here for this third and fourth playoff. Both these nations with players out there that will be looking to make an impression. Both will be looking to grab the bronze medal at the end of the day. So, high start here from the left side of the South African attack. Holding quite nicely as they push forward to the likes of Kolani, keeping it alive then. Here's Human. Number of players on the edge of the box holding a disciplined line. Malawi defensively. South Africa will be operating with Sibetela in the number 14 out wide on the left side of the fence, looking to push forward whenever he can. Ditejan will be out wide on the right side of the fence, also looking to get on the overlap whenever the chance presents itself. Zumela had a taste of the action for the first time, of course, in the semi-final between the sticks for South Africa because of an injury to Jethro and Parr. Keegan Madden amongst those also injured and not available for the smash for South Africa.
But just in short, what can be said about that defensive unit of Bafana Bafana? This young Bafana Bafana is definitely a future. great future for some of these youngsters. I mean, Mohamed Fouane for me has been outstanding alongside King Alan in that pairing in the defense.
Mabasa. Defender came through him from behind and to get to the ball first. Chizaya. Amongst the changes, of course, in the Malawi back three. It turns into 5 in the art defending now. Ball into Mabasa, he's on the turn, yeah, getting into the byline, and well, he's upon the corner. He thought for South Africa, the referee has called for the goal kick, to the surprise of a few out in the stands and to the joy of the Malawian fans, of course.
I would have been a part of those that expected a corner, because I thought Mabasa was actually shooting, and then there was a block. Not unless it ricochets last minute for a goal kick.
I have to agree with you. What I saw Joe as a South Africans give it away here in a dangerous area of the field. Yeah, so it's Malawi getting to the byline, and you suspect Mulena may have gotten an important touch. Yes, he did. Out for the corner. They don't need any invitation to go full pace into the final third with plenty of tackling intent, do they?
Which is how they've played since beginning of the tournament. When they go forward, they go with a lot of aggression and very determined to get something going this early. Great charge from the goalkeeper to tip it over for a corner.
Good hard running from Pasi then. Going into that box amongst those push forward now as we get good numbers into the front foot here. Kaunga to keep it alive. Did he win another corner? Whilst the Malawans were hoping for a corner. Now, goal kick to South Africa.
I guess it's the same situation that would have happened in that earlier opportunity.
He doesn't agree with the officials, I expect him already. Patches, yeah. On this near side. See, he challenges flying up to Malawi, one back in the end. It's the South Africans that give it away here. Iteshani, one of those flying in as we look back at the corner of him. See all the players are walking that way.
Yeah.
The South African players are walking towards goal to protect the corner. That tells you something. Good pressure, forcing the error. Tejani. Human there to help win it back here for the South Africans and keep the pressure on. Is there for the shot. What block? They anticipated that shot to the Malawans. Now with a chance of the counter attack. Head up and looking for movement is impassive. That's done by the men in red up until that guy's pass here on the near side. But to their credit, both these sides are looking to pace and play it at a rather entertaining pace, moving forward, trying to get at each other. They just haven't gotten the passing at 100% just yet, or close to that.
But something that you can't fault them for is the intensity.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe the Malawian players, that's where they get it from training. You can see that this is the play, it's the whole team. It's not because of certain individuals that play like that. They are a team that plays with that kind of intensity. Obviously refreshed now with so many players that have been introduced.
In the last game, you made a point, I guess in a funny way, but when you spoke of the Malawi team and the energy levels they bring to any game. Now we know it's all 25 of the players that bring that mentality and that culture. It's in their blood. But now, I think the same can be said for their fans. They bring an energy level you don't see quite regularly out into the stands.
I was getting concerned in the beginning. I'm like, which of the two is the home team here? South African fans are not as vocal.
Header one. He's dipping. Ooh, it's set on the crossbar and went out for the corner after the touch from Zimena. It dipped and look at the it just dipped under the crossbar. He couldn't take a chance.
No.
Have a look at this. Put it right on the crossbar.
Question is, was he tipping it over? I think it was caught between two minds. So I'll catch it or tip it over.
Goal kick. Has on a few occasions come short to this near side. As Gawanga popping up on the left side for the Malawans will miss one player in particular who has been outstanding for me in this tournament. They've had many players that really have stood out for Malawi, but they are without Lanjes in coma, who wears the number 19, and as far as left wingers go, he's been amongst the most impressive in this tournament, and we've had a few good wingers or attacking forwards, if you will, on the left side in this tournament, but Nkoma really has been right up there with the best of them. Any defender he's faced will tell you of that in this tournament, I'm sure of that. Out injured, so would be an option on the bench. Chira is another who wears the number 11 jersey, would be available for this match, as well as Patrick Macheso.
Don't forget Aaron.
Yep.
In the center of the midfield.
At least they've got him on the bench as an option.
He's got Willard as cover for him.
And of course the hard-working big number 9, Chakama Kumwembe, who is in amongst the goal scorers. He's been impressive at just operating in the number 9 position, and now he's bullying defenders throughout the tournament.
See now, in the absence of Mohaile on the right hand side, I've seen quite a bit of the central defender, the left-footed fullback defender. In that case, if Mohaile was here, we'll have a diagonal ball coming to this side.
Yep.
But then the challenge, I guess, in that moment is they don't have a left-footed who can swing this ball to create the opening on the right hand side.
Of course, also out wide on the left side of it, the left foot of Lyle Lekay.
Who's also just as good for those diagonal balls.
He can just whip it all the way across. With quality as well. Interesting in watching the shape of this Malawi side as they look to stop the South Africans from playing through the lines, doing so impressively through Mabasa. Invited to have the shot, why not? Was there slight deflection? The answer is yes, starts in the corner. Looking for his 4th of the tournament. A lot of Pirates fans may have watched it during the course of this tournament and started to wonder if maybe he might get a call back to the main squad. Okay.
Well, I spoke to him this morning. He's as far as he was on a loan to school, so automatically he's going to make a return. Whether he's going to be sent out on loan again, he's not too sure. He's waiting for management to make the call. So is Lolane, by the way. He is an Orlando Pirates player. He was on loan to Maritzburg.
So, no more in the way of pushing and shoving with the likes of Sibitela. And Chembe is getting a talking to. Here's the inswing and your post! Straight down the throat of Brighton Montali, however. Good set piece, good play all round on that occasion. Didn't have to move an inch to Montali.
But what you'll appreciate a lot more is just the run into the front, where he cleared himself of the rest of the defenders and got a good nod towards the goal of the Malawi.
Mohammed with the opportunity for the South Africans. The Sundowns man came into this game having played 360 minutes of football. He's had every second available to him played out there on the fields. The only in the starting 11 that's had or that's played every second of this COSAFA Cup. Only other player that can match him from a South African point of view. In fact, there's two others. One is Skakani. That was before this encounter. He's now beaten them for minutes out on the field in the COSAFA Cup. The other was Lyle Lekay. But they're both stuck at 360. He's added on another 12 and a half minutes. With the time he spent out in the field. Nice hold up here. The ball in is a bad one. It needed to be dealt with, and it's Mohammed that concedes the corner.
You know, he comes here having not featured much for Mamelodi Sundowns, his team, but he's played like he was a regular at club football. But that just goes to show, like the coach said, there's many players that deserve a hell lot more acknowledgement and an opportunity to play that maybe don't get that opportunity at club level. Kapinga is another, but it's been fantastic for Bafana Bafana in that centre.
That's up for Chibalanga, wearing the number 3 jersey, who's won the corner here for the Malawans. He's a big fellow, also moves quite impressively as what we saw, or if what we saw in the play that won the corner was anything to go back. Chimbezi with the last touch, organizing defensively, part of that 3-man defense that turns into 5 when they are defending. Abasa, that's involved here on this near side. Oh, nice reverse pass as well. That stays down here. Goal kick is the call. I say that with a bit of a surprise, or maybe in the tone that I do, because Chimbezi, in the initial challenge, went over the ball, tackled into Tolani, who wasn't trying to win the foul, so stayed on his feet. From Chimbalanga. Human in the middle of the park here for the South Africans. Svetera going down the line then. Nice turn. Nice return. Itana. Pace now going into that final third. Strength needed as well. Now, which way does the decision go for the South Africans?
Did well, Spetela. Yes, I thought, you know, he was on the wrong side of the ball and could have easily pushed off the ball, but he stood strong, which eventually became clear that he fought well to just keep standing, and he had to be fouled to move off the ball.
Mabasa stays down after the challenge, suggesting he was fouled, but the referee and officials didn't agree. And here by the South Africans on this near side. Isolated, but doing well then. Exceptionally well is Aditejani. Some nice touches. Aditejani weighing the number 2 on his back on a few occasions now. He's raising an eyebrow about how he's gone about business. The Kaiser Chiefs man enjoying his first showing of the tournament. Who's up?
We love a fullback that can do that. Not only just get forward in the wide areas to ping the ball in, but also if he doesn't have immediate support, he'll be able to hold on to the ball a lot longer, or even weave his way into that dangerous area.
yet to see the best of Malawi in the aerial duels between themselves here and the South Africans, especially on the front foot. Good ball in, then they got the initial header. There's enough power to trouble all the way to Zimeda. Desire the man to push forward from the heart of defence to get onto the end of that set piece. It does go down as a shot at goal, keep in mind. So it's a 3-on-2 with the Malawians slightly edging out the South Africans with positive moments going forward. Human looking to open it up. All Reds by Chimbalaga. A few youngsters out there. Mentioned the 19-year-old Gumete, 18-year-old Pusudi Tejani on this near side. Did hear the South African coach, Ramon Body, mentioning, Showing that he'd love to see some players, maybe those that are without clubs, going to find clubs, and those that are talented enough going to maybe become permanent players in the Bafana setup. When you think of a 18-year-old Tejani, a 19-year-old Gumete, the future is bright for them in what we've seen of them so far.
Indeed.
Getting Zimeda as well.
They haven't given much of a window for Malawi to make a claim that they can actually score. They've been good for the job so far, alongside Mohamed in that central defense for Bafana. But you know, for me, every now and then I look at just how the teams have played. Just to summarize the first 18 minutes that we've seen, I feel like yes, the play is good defensively and into that middle, but only in the defensive half. Bafana in particular have got to improve when they make these entries. They haven't created one clear-cut scoring chance. That for me is what we've seen them fail over the tournament. I think they've got to improve a bit more. There's got to be better quality. You're playing at home. You're supposed to be more dominant, and there's not enough. Where's the goal going to come from if you don't create as often?
Ball in, he has a chance. Well, one or two things going to happen. Put him in the test then to get it beyond Zimela, or the touch, or lack of a touch could have put Zimela off. The lack of a touch didn't. Quite importantly, it remains 0-0, but yet another maybe slight positive for Malawi from a dead ball situation.
Now, you have to look at the reaction time that Zimela needed to catch that ball. If it had been a little bit faster, that might have caught him. Obviously, with a touch, certainly that would have been a goal straight away. But still, he reacted well because he needed to wait up until he goes past the attacking player.
And that's on Malawi. Couple of challenges to slow them down here. The shot in range. Oh, that was a rocket. That was a thunderbolt. Hit with power from Willard, sitting deep in midfield here.
Bafana being reminded, as much as they're defending well, they can't defend too deep, because that was just a sign that Malawi's got players that can hit it from some range. And when that happens, sometimes the defender is unsighted. So those are some of the concerns, of course, that they need to deal with.
Frank Willard, the man with that strike, plays for Nyasa Big Bullets. He's having his fourth appearance, but only played 28 minutes ahead of the 20s he joined in this match, meaning he's been a pit power player in his involvement. He's come on late in matches when they're looking to wind the clock down and see out the game. This already the most minutes he's accumulated in a single game so far in this tournament. South Africa looking to play it out, getting it into the opposition half and keeping it moving from there has been a bit of a challenge over the last 5 or so. And well, this time around, just Mabasa getting into the box for the time being.
Missing, of course. If that ball sprayed spread to the left-hand side or anywhere on either side of the channel. That's obvious that the player on the side or with the ball, he's going to want to whip it into the box. So you start anticipating then by moving into that area. But there was only one in this instance. Now, I'm summarizing this on the part of South Africa. As I said, this has been some of their biggest problems. They do create decent width every now and then, but the presence of the player arriving in the toolbox has not been much to indicate that they can get a goal from that. And yet that's the best way to create a scoring chance against a team that defend like Malawi.
Have the early ball, comfortable for Montani, the Blue Eagles man. Only conceded one in the 4 matches he played. That's how good Malawi have been defensively, keep in mind. It's also the only side that's unlocked them defensively. Babasa looking sure South Africa will be the next. No, denied by Montani. Good save from Montani.
Brilliant.
Good play from South Africa. There's Mabasa looking for the 1-2.
A bit more of what he should have done with that first touch. When the goalkeeper's approaching and you're that close to him, you know he's going to try and spread his body as big as he can. And half of that body will be across instead of upright. So the chance is always to like dink the ball a little bit higher. Let's look at this. He does that last touch, which I thought maybe was dangerous of him, but in the process he committed the goalkeeper, which is what you want the goalkeeper to commit. But then what was left is for him to dink it over.
Strong play. Although still rolls kindly here for the men in red. Palace, I believe, is the man who lost out in the middle of the park. Palace, I believe, is the man who set Mabasa through that through ball a little bit early on for the last South African chance, their best chance of the game so far.
If teams having spotted the talent of Palace, then they would be closing their eyes to it. As much as Maurice Petit get the drop, I think he's one of those players that contributed immensely for Maurice Petit United. He's certainly that is a talent that has quite a bright future about him. That's just my personal opinion.
Komedi, the man who was hoping for the foul that time around in for the South Africans.
Dana, the player that was caught in that process, that remained down, is actually being taken out for treatment.
Midway point of the first half here. Maybe a few concerns for Coach Ramazabodi, especially on the front foot. Well, defensively you can't ignore Malawi as well. They are a certain threat, no matter which 11 they've got out there by the look of it. Trickery, power and pace they've got out on the wings.
Now, here are two challenges that people might not be aware that the coach was facing over Bafana Bafana. First of all, you're going to look at the combinations to see who pairs up with who. And secondly, the other challenge would be to try and help some of them that didn't have game time at the club level, to try and get a level of fitness. You don't have much time to do that. So you're banking on the combinations that will be better. And unfortunately, with a week in camp, it wasn't much. But sometimes you do whatever you can during that week in the hope that will get better as you play games in the competition. Beautiful.
Nicely done. Coming into the game here as the back is looked towards Mabasa. He's touch, not a very convincing one. Still falls for the men in gold and green, but Carlo was never really getting over it.
Difficult position for the striker. He's most of the time surrounded by 2-3 defenders.
Yep.
And he got limited time on the ball to be able to think or even turn. That's why his strength sometimes.
The ball now. Legs up both sides. Doesn't matter anyway. Cross-side official here. Stephen Dugassi from the Seychelles. Bringing an impressive run here from the youngster and pass it to a halt. Headed just straight off.
Yeah, when the ball was passed.
Another teenager is passing. Another 18-year-old. Watch out for him wearing the number 20 jersey for the Malawian side. He had a few bright moments early on in the game. Has been hard running and looks to create a partnership alongside Kawanga. Build upon the partnership. Momentum with the touch, looking to organize defensively. Now, space on the far side here, that's exactly what the Malawians are looking to exploit. Overlapping run, uses a decoy from range! It had Zumela worried, although you had it covered. This time it's not Bemba.
I would have been worried. That seems to be dropping right in the end. But Mzimela once again, it looked like he had it covered. And those long range shots, which I said, yes, you might be defending us, Bafana, but you got to remember, you can't defend too deep.
Remember, another teenager out on that field. He plays for Nyasa Pick Bullets. 44 minutes is enjoyed of this tournament ahead of this evening's clash in 3 appearances of the bench. Now, Italo, Chibalanga continues his run down the line. Ball goes in the most central area here. But Malawi looks to find a yard for a shot from range. Good play from Human in staying at goal side. Now, numbers invited to get into the box here. Has to work on the right side until the final delivery, which is disappointing for Malawi after a nice ball.
Ramek, I think the player that had made that overlapping run, as we look into that earlier shot that went over the bar.
Well, any call that frustrates the South Africans is met with joy by the Malawi fans here. That's why you'd think, if you didn't know and you're just tuned on, we'd forgive you for thinking this is a Malawi home game. Not the case. It's just the Malawi fans are so engaged. Now, good run. Well watched. Touching the fumbles! What a volley! Great positional play by Zimena. The volley, an impressive strike from Mbemba.
Very alert goalkeeper. Positional play, I think, was the best thing that he did in that moment.
Let's run it. Now, chance for the South Africans. The angle, a good one for the shot. The protection of the near post, true from Muntali, but he still has to protect that side. He did a solid job at it. Nicely done, and winning it back in a very good area here. Done well. There's a youngster up until that last. He was so impressive. Buzo Ditejani, so skillful, so quick. So nice on the ball here. Born in 2004, there's a few players that are born in that year that have been impressive here this afternoon.
Not a bad attempt. Power is good, but then you've got to analyze this a little bit more. If you're in that angle, surely the goalkeeper's covering the near post. Maybe a Keller into that far post. You need to be composed enough. Pressure, unfortunately, doesn't give you much time to think about some of these things. Gotta be impressed by what you see on that far side, Season Pena.
Yep.
One of the better attendants.
The Lutulungani, I believe, was in the last picture we saw with the Bokfish.
Sudesh Singh.
There's no separating these two. Every time you see one, you see the other during this 2023 COSAFA Cup.
They're part of that study group.
Yep.
Who obviously are compiling some of the summaries in as far as what they would have picked up tendencies in this competition. Very interesting read.
Now, Brighton Muntali, the Blue Eagles man, is back on his feet, which will be a good sign for Malawi. They won't be forced into a change here in this first half with over 10 minutes remaining in the half. So, whilst the Malawi fans have been vocal and have been ensured we can hear the moments throughout this match, well, proud of it, you know, there are a few South African fans out there that are consistently looking to ensure they get behind the South African team here. 30 minutes gone by, or 34 to be exact. It's a nice turn here on this near side and nicely done by Palace. Now, chance of the counter here. Good movement in the far side. Lovely pass to pick out the runner. They've got three advancing in on the box. And, well, never really looked up to spot the option of his teammates getting into position then, and he's quickly offering his apologies, my friend.
Yes, missed a great opportunity. The right inside of the defense for Bafana Bafana was way empty. I think at the time Tijani had sprayed forward and he didn't recover in time to cover that end.
Idana, nicely read. Kumete, stepping forward, then to look back here for the South Africans who quickly look to up the ante going in towards the final third. Human was the man who saw it go under his feet. Malawi holding with. Was the loss from a South African point of view. We'll be looking to avoid another here. Next strike. There's a few concerns that may be developing here from a South African point of view with Ongolu, the latest to have a strike.
Now,
Really close.
I would like to look maybe at some of the numbers. Yes, it looks like 3 on target. I'm sure Malawi will be way ahead in as far as attempts in general. But unfortunately not finding the target, but they've really been on the front foot.
Another promising look of an attack comes to nothing for the South Africans. Ed Newman was involved out to the far side, picking it up in the middle of the park here with Tijani in the most central area. Now, go forward, here flags up offside. The loss for the South Africans in the semi-final to the Zambians in that exciting semi-final would, of course, have ended an impressive unbeaten run, which was the longest unbeaten run from a South Africa, or from the South Africans, which lasted from 2017 up until the loss to Zambia a couple of days ago. 20 plus matches. So things have been going well for South Africa in this COSAFA Cup over the years. Now, Tijani. Look at me, challenge is a challenge. So, yellow card may very well follow as United gets sucked in high up the field, wide on the right side. Central defender was smoked as well, so he was in the spot of bother.
Now the big brother, in Mohammed, comes and addresses him. Question for me is just, was there a lack of cover for him to come in that fashion? Or is it that youthful exuberance about them? Whereby if a player is facing the opposite direction and they're still like way off before they could head the team, you just try to guide as much as you can instead of jumping in that fashion. It's come at a very high cost of the card. And if you're a defender, you know mostly the likelihood of what's going to follow from there.
Well, for the most part, discipline hasn't been much of an issue to this year's COSAFA Cup, but you remember Lesotho did have Kwana as he sent off in the minutes leading up to half time, and that didn't stop them from getting their place in the final. Now, problems here. He's just picked up a yellow card. Kumete will get a serious talking to in the moments leading up to half time here.
My biggest worry, I didn't expect him to be able to repeat the mistake as quick as this. Again, he dives in. Yes, the area from which he does it is a little bit more dangerous, but I still feel there was still cover. Youthful exuberance again. And now it's a set piece in a very dangerous area. And be reminded, Zimela considered from a set piece that he wasn't able to quite position himself accordingly.
That's was against Zambia in the semi-final. Maungulu is the only player standing over this. Right-footed player is set for the right-footed player, really. With the corner away from the keeper. Beautiful shuffling of feet. Bounces it away out for the corner. One of these days of the tournament.
Excellent. I guess it's redemption time for him. Because I wouldn't have been surprised if that one caught, because he was covering the other end. But the only chance that he had, like if you're going to try and get that ball over the wall, as a goalkeeper, you have a little bit of chance to shuffle across, which is what it did. Good footwork.
Header. Chose not to hold on then quite wisely and got a bit of distance to the clearance. Although, didn't clear the final third. Malawi, they're going to bring it right back. It was a well-struck set piece, we said as well, from Maungulu. Mabasa losing out on the challenge, in fact seemed to have been fouled, with the referee having a good angle on that challenge from Chasia.
Not so much fluidity on the part of Bafana. Changes made again does have a tendency to take away the fluidity which they played with in other games.
At the risk of sounding like a skeptic, same thing can be said from a Malawian point of view. They made changes of their own, 8, in fact 2 more than South Africa. What would you say of their fluidity?
Well, that's the thing I said about the intensity which they play. They seem to be at the same level, the whole team. And also, and what Mabedi said earlier about their lack of preparation coming to this tournament. What you see here is, if anything, is a big surprise on how these players came together and started playing like a team with such limited time of preparations.
Again, proud to be said, look out at that far grandstand whenever you get the chance, and appreciate the numbers that have come through and how engaged these fans are for a 3rd and 4th playoff.
Now, here's the other for you to think about, Mabena. Malawi, they picked up from teams and from players that are playing regularly in their league. Unlike Bafana, which you keep saying is these are fringe players.
So, final third here in the final minutes of this first half. This is exactly where Malawi will want to be. Good throw, could be a good chance coming from this, but for a good bit of defending at the expense of a corner. Talani would love to affect the other side of the field here, but with the way Malawi have gone about business, even the likes of Talani have had to put in a shift defensively here. Not give away a penalty. They've done a good job in that regard, and tell you what, Venezuela does an even better job defensively out in that far post. Firstly, the footwork getting there, then the handling was top-notch, even with the contact from about 1 or 2 of the opposition players. Beautiful ball floated in by Itana towards that far post. That's goalkeeping of the highest order from Mzimela. So, the Amazulu 22-year-olds come through the ranks at Amazulu from the reserve side through to the first team, originating from Lamonto. And a good showing here. That's good hard running on the far side. Now, byline! Keepers come up with a good little save. Great save to tonight Olani then. Didn't have much to aim for, barring a possible place beyond Montali, and he's been great. In fact, both goalkeepers have had an outstanding first 45 minutes in this encounter. Well, hold on that time, as Montali. End of a half here where there's no separating Malawi and South Africa. Malawi may feel they may have slightly edged it in just having more positives going forward here, but they've certainly needed the best out of the likes of Kumeda and Mohammed, with Kumeda coming close to picking up 2 yellow cards late in the half. Going forward, Mabasa's had his moments, Tolani as well as a human in creating chances, whilst Malawi, well, they've had the likes of Kaong looking to create problems in Party with a great start to the half in running against the South African defense in the early exchanges. At the end of the first half in the 3rd and 4th playoff, as Malawi know, South Africa, no. No separating Malawi and South Africa in the first 45 minutes of the third and fourth playoff at the Kings Wellington Stadium. Lovely turnout, by the way, if you are just joining us, and they've brought a lovely atmosphere to what has been an entertaining game, minus the goals, mind you. Malawi on the front foot right from the get-go then. Good hard running out on that far side, pacing, getting to the byline, and wow, Zimena needed in conceding the corner. Then the hard running for the Malawians came off and past it. The teenager showing a great burst of pace then as he had to call that defense. Now, this was interesting. Ball was dipping, and the Spot simply put it on the crossbar, allowing it to go out for the goal kick. Did other teams matter? Touches it straight onto the crossbar. Yep, it won't come back the other way, so all's well that ends well. set piece, and all this needed was a touch. Mzimela did a good job of keeping his eye on the ball then. Any touch from a goal to a red shirt then could have been problematic for Mzimela. He did well not to be put off by the near misses, a couple of them. Keeping his eye on the ball then, and a wrong ball forward, another positive moment here for Malawi. Ball in far post, Vali is solid. Mzimela is positioned superbly. Lovely connection then with the volley for Mapemba. Mzimela so far can't put a hand or foot wrong from a South African point of view. Now, there are some human involved here. Good shot, keeper. Equal to it. Right momentarily, the Malawian keeper was the less busier of the two keepers. His best moment over the first half, dealing with that shot from Human, looking for his second goal of the tournament. Now, the stats are as follows. Malawi will well, maybe be the much happier of the two sides when you look at the attempts and shots on target, considering South Africa had so much of the ball, but they have not opened up Malawi as often as the Malawians have been able to open them up and get box entries. Now, William Shongwe has been consistent during halftime breaks in the different matches and giving us interesting interviews. Today is no different.
With me, Dr. Vusi Masbugo, who is head of Stadia and Facilities of eThekwini Municipality. Mr. Masbugo, you must be very, very excited in the way that your stadiums and facilities have come through with all the tests of the crowds and attendance. There's so many days that the competition has been going.
It has been a very long 2 weeks. We're closing it today with the finals here at King Soletini Stadium. We're excited that we have delivered yet another successful COSAFA. This is the third in a row, and we have seen the improvements. Improvements not only in our facilities, but the crowds that have followed these games. I think it's a record for COSAFA. Not only did they follow South African games, but the crowds in all our stadiums here at Mos Mabhida, at Princess Magogo, where the games were played, the crowd followed all the teams and supported all the teams. And we're excited about that. And we're also excited that our facilities were able to hold as we are playing the final today at King Soletini. And we're also excited that the support systems that we have put in place for the spectators and the traveling teams have also worked very well. The medical team, we want to say salute to them. We have an incident-free event for 2 weeks. We also want to salute the men in uniform, the police, the security guards, and everybody else that has participated. Our VOC has been very busy in all our facilities, making sure that the spectators are safe, the players are safe, and the information that we're getting, the feedback that we're getting from the spectators that have traveled with the teams and the teams themselves and their management is that they want to be in this destination again, and we want to thank people of eThekwini.
Now, just outline for me some of the facilities that you have within the stadiums that people don't get to know about what goes on behind the scenes.
What goes behind the scenes, obviously, people on TV and when they come to the stadium, all they see is mainly the pitch and probably the stands. Yes. But the facilities that make up a successful tournament include the competition areas. For this tournament, we had to meet the CAF and COSAFA requirements. First and foremost, we need to have a safe a stadium that needs to be inspected and approved, and that we're able to provide. The competition areas, because of the number of teams that are playing, we need a minimum of 4 change rooms at a CAF standard, which we provided. The other competition areas, we need to make sure that there are rooms for referees that are acceptable and are in a CAF standards. You also need to make sure that the medical facilities that support the games are also available to the security agencies, but also the venue operation center, where all the operations of the tournaments take place in terms of monitoring that which could go wrong actually happen and interventions that happen. So those are all the facilities that make up a successful tournament.
Dr. Masbugo, thanks once again for your time and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, they're having a good time out in the stands. There's more and more. Look to find places around the Kings Wellington Stadium. Great turnout for a third and fourth playoff. We're looking forward to the second half of the other side of this. Well, we get ready for the second half in the third and fourth playoffs, and while the two teams have come out here for the start of the second half and in the halftime break, of course, we've had a great job being done indeed by Siabo Mashe, the MC of the COSAFA Cup of 2023. He's been great throughout the games, at the halftime breaks, and the moment between the games. He has ensured that the crowd stays vibrant, stays lively, and while we've also enjoyed him in other tournaments, last year at the beach soccer, he was also there, done a great job there, and he's part of the COSAFA family, and a great addition to the team all round. So, second half about to get underway. Malawi to attack the right of your picture in the red, while South Africa would attack the left. Few changes. Assis Kakani out on the field. He wasn't the starter here today. Yassi Lekay out on the field. He wasn't the starter here today if you are just joining us. And it's Malawi to get things underway. The men in red will look to pick up from where they left off at the end of the first half, where one could argue, minus the ball position, they had some great moments, and more than South Africa in that regard. Now, we'll look to confirm the changes for you, of course, as we get the action going here in the second half. Sakani on for Kumete. Remembering Kumete was on 2 yellow cards, or on a yellow card, I beg your pardon. Came close to picking up the second. Titirani will make way for Lekay. Now, pressure right from the front. Decision will go with the South Africans. Ntwalo will make way, and it's Reynolds who comes on. The skill in eliminating one and keeping it moving here as it's set up for the shot, but it's a tame one from Reynolds, who's up and on the field just over a minute, but wastes precious little time and already firing a shot in the direction of Montali. He's been great in that regard from a South African point of view. Shots and moments of attack that have happened around his play, where even others have been able to benefit from that. There have been a plenty in the matches where Ramadabodi's men have been in action. He certainly has been one of the positives from a South African point of view. Reynolds. Now, really touched in. The ball looking to find the eye of the needle, needed a whole lot more quality in order to find the lone man up front, which was Mabasa. So, along with the changes, the South African side that's currently on the field here in the second half will be filing through, bottom of your screen. Nice. Positive run in the middle of the park. Started off some nice touches from Palace as he kept it moving. Now the South Africans looking to build on that. Reynolds. Okay. Gobedi. Wants those to have the touches as well as Palace. Sakani on the far side. Again, seeing the South Africans at the back of the ball will come as no surprise. Yeah, it was the same in the first half. If you are just joining us, the challenge for the South Africans was turning this into goal-scoring opportunities or positive moments inside the box. Whilst they had much less, Malawi had creative moments at getting the South African goalkeeper busy, Zimela. Good movements, great movements. Not quick enough, however, to get there ahead of Muntali, who was great at reading the danger nice and early, and his decision-making to get off his line. Enough to see him get there ahead of Human. Space to turn into here for Mabasa. No, good movement again. Here's what the South Africans need here if they are to get into that final third with a real purpose. Allowing this wise to all the South Africans were attempting here on this near side. Turn. Important defensive play. Willard gets the applause from those out in the stands with how they did in the middle of the park on that occasion. Palace. Interesting with the care of the fields that Mohamed has held on to the captain's armband. The K, you remember, has been the captain for the most part here in this tournament. Here he is. Out wide on the left, as you'd expect. Referee had a good view on that. Didn't see a foul at the first time of us. Into that the second in favor of the South Africans. Nino Pellis, the man fouls. Malawi with the numbers behind the ball here. with you on that educated left foot for Lekay. Hurt by the Malawi is not allowing the cross to be played into the field then. Kobedi. Well, for the South Africans, they did give up a great chance at this year's tournament to match the likes of Zimbabwe and Zambia in being crowned the most successful nations in the way of wins in this tournament at the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. The record with both Zambia and Zimbabwe at 6 wins apiece. South Africa with 5. On his near side is Mapemba. The infield now as Malawi keep on pushing here. Made very well profit from the shots. Denied again. Finds Zimena. He's had a great game. As the South Africans, the Malawians lead. The moment not too far away. The actually time at the constant fall on the side of the South Africans. The same for Kawanga, the number 10 here. Halfway down, only one thought in mind. Maybe that slight block of deflection did enough to take a bit of the power off the shot here. No denying how important Zimela has been to the cause here in the 53 minutes of this match. South Africans winners in 02, 07, 08. 2016 and 2021. Nice play, putting it out wide and keeping it alive here on the near side. Decent ball in there, well defended. And it's a combination in the heart of defense. Don't forget backs of Chimbezi and Chazia, not forgetting Ramek as well. There's been pretty much on the money so far. Gobid. Now, South Africa with the get it in again. So many back in crucial defensive positions for Malawi, able to keep the South Africans frustrated and protecting Montali rather well. Gobid. Interesting ball. In fact, that is between the lines. Now, moment could be coming up here. Good, hard running until the last challenge to slow down the South Africans. Ball in! Oh, it's come up the post! Quality ball, flag has stayed down, and that's the best moment for South Africa in the second half. It was Reyners who didn't get the best of touches. I suspect it came off his shin. Wasn't his thigh?
More than knee at that. And a great opportunity, wide open. One of the few that South Africa has created. Would you say that the tide is changing in favor of Bafana Bafana?
No, there was a moment where Malawi had a rare attack in the second half and were good enough to get it into the box. Same old story. South Africa having all the play, Malawi with the little or the less that they've had, able to do more with this, if you know what I mean. But yeah, South Africa have held on to it and they've had their best moment now following that from Malawi. Both goalkeepers tested. Zimela having the goods in the save, a good save it was as well off the deflected shot. Montali lucky to see his beaten moment saved by the post. Now South Africans coming forward again. Here's a chance. Now you can say South Africans are beginning to create some moments.
Sometimes it's not necessarily the chance or the shot taken, but you see it in the build-up.
Yep.
When the success of the passes are a lot higher than it was, then you think to yourself, surely they're doing something slightly better.
You know how we know, Showman? The fans, for the first time here in the stadium, aren't just up and shouting, but at the end of this attack, at the end of the miss, the entire stadium took a good 10 seconds to applaud the attack from a South African point of view, and it came from all corners of the stadium, meaning mostly the South Africans, because the Malawians are on one section of the field. Kumwembe, one more pass. Heavy hitters are coming on now. We saw Lakay Aaron
Yeah,
on for Willard. The heavy hitters are coming on now.
obviously it'll boil down to about what 30 something minutes for them to play, which means that it's a time that they can last in the field of play, playing well, not just making numbers in the field of play.
Changes from a South African point of view in personnel, it need be said. I've seen them able to get the penetration in and around the final third that wasn't there maybe as often in the first half. Reyners always comes through with that penetrative style of play that he has. He's had a great day. The South African who's enjoying his time as a senior international now, Sean. I say that because he's also representing South Africa at junior international levels. South Africa under 20 and under 23. Mzimana yet to make a breakthrough in the top flight.
I've liked what I've seen of him today in particular, and I guess that game against the Zambians was a little bit shaky for him. It was his first after being dropped in at the last minute because of the injury to Bar. So that must have warmed him up to be able to come on this time a little bit more convicted.
They wanted to make the change, but have decided they'll wait for the set piece. The South Africans, I suspect. Ball shots, big shots!
Flag up.
Steven Dugasset with his flag.
Well, Bafana have remembered that they've got some serious guns sitting on that bench themselves. Mokhaila mentioned his pace, but they've got to find him with a decent pass, because if you don't have his place in front of you, you'll have difficulty using his speed.
I mentioned this earlier, with the care on the field, it was interesting to see that the captain armband had stayed with Mohammed. It's a bit of a surprise what we're seeing. One of the performers of this COSAFA Cup, Mohammed, making way for the South Africans here. Kind of coming on in this place. I say making way, being a surprise in that he's been great. And you think in the time that remains, he hasn't put a foot wrong today, he'll continue. Coach, the body showing us he's got one or two tricks up his sleeve.
This, of course, is to change the formation slightly. But yes, I'll also be a little surprised, because after all the changes you want to make is not to step what has worked so far. But I'm trying to imagine, having played all four, and they must be feeling the effects of all the games played before.
Yes.
So it's being sacrificed, it's being sacrificed, in the hope that they can keep the shape defensively, but they want to release some players that will be a bit more. Who knows, they might get back to playing with three in defense, just to release more players into the middle, which means they'll be more effective in the attack.
I'm trying to read it defensively, but we'll get back to that in a moment. As Malawi make some changes of their own here. Mapemba had some great moments in the first half. The youngsters certainly entertained, and well, here's the man who's been wearing the captain's armband, Sanudi. Lungu, another man that's just come on. 1 hour football we've had here at the King. To be exact, I'll say it in full, the Kings Wellington Stadium. Now, the confirmation for Maungulu on for Sanudi, or rather making way for Sanudi, I beg your pardon. Napemba making way for Lungu. Third and fourth playoff, look at the numbers at the top. I'll say it again, if it's full up there, you best be sure it's full in the main grandstand here under our commentary area and under our cameras in the angle at which we're showing you the game. Atmosphere has been absolutely top notch, and the way these nations have gone about entertaining throughout this tournament is the reason why so many have come out. That's done well. Done very well as the Malawis. They found an opening, I thought, and it looked as though it would be their moment, but for the foul being called, and quite crucially, against Kumwembe.
Once again, I'll say it. Kumwembe. The more I look at him, I mentioned earlier that he looks like one other striker from Malawi, Ricky Puka, who's like me, so rest in peace. But I'm telling you, just about everything. His body's facially, and Gangle, also of a striker. And for those that will remember him, of course, he featured for Kaiser Chiefs in 1986.
Is that your year?
Yes.
Right.
So I remember him that well.
Yeah. Right, he's me and my colleagues first year. Moving to South Africa from Eswatini. We haven't been able to get rid of him since. Shot from range! The save. They're both very impressive. Montali and Zimena between the sticks. Takes two out the equation. Just going. Getting the crowd to life in the process. So, from range. Right of the mark by some distance from Kumwembe.
Looks like the goalkeepers will have a say in where this game is going to go eventually.
Kobedi with the snapshots. Hit it well. Did the midfielder. Very well.
No, it's just something outside of this game. I'm looking at Kobedu. Or should I say maybe all of these players from where they come from. The preseason is in full swing. And these players are missing. Even coming out of here, they might be given a week or so of rest before they could join the squad. And the preseason will be almost to the end. So these players in many ways might be affected in as far as the preparation for the next season is concerned, which is why it's a difficult time for teams to release their players to be with the squad.
Now, shots with the bounce. Beautifully done. Superbly done by Zimena to deny Gong. That bounce was a wicked one.
Look at the space afforded to Kaonga. You can choose. There are players that we can't afford them that kind of space. Look at everybody almost like backing off from him. And it was an invitation for him to take a shot.
Well, just to get back to your point on these players in pre-season, it's triggered something in my mind here as we see the South Africans clearing up the field in. Just covered to ensure Rangers didn't run away with it. But there'll be a few players here from the different countries that may be looking forward to get back to their regular clubs, shall we? Some may be hoping this showing will show a late interest in some clubs for them, as the South Africans pro no way through. Itana overruns it. Then there's a few clubs that could pick up players late in the transfer window following this tournament. But most importantly, those that would have played in the playoffs in the different divisions and would have concluded the playoffs late, and that's at this time to hit the window, will surely be watching on here. And surely we're looking firstly at the players that are without clubs, and then those from countries like Lesotho, even Malawi, that could be picked up as late inclusions onto their squad.
Big window for those coaches that maybe didn't get the opportunity to sign earlier.
A few CEOs who have heard that point and they're calling their coaches. Are you watching? Are there any names you've seen? Interesting movement, lovely ball! Oh, it was a great chance. It was a proper chance. The quality of the ball over the top, including the vision to go with it. Yeah, Bota has every reason to wonder what else.
I clearly believe that it's a better half from Bafana Bafana.
Tolani.
I don't think they saw so many opportunities in that first half.
The prettiest from Tolani then. Pace. Real pace. Kept alive. Now, can he find it? Teammate, the answer is no. Guredi. And profiting Celtic reserves. Celtics TS Sporting. Oh, not loan. Now a Royal AM player, Poland. The great Lucas Khatebe. Can't mistake him. No matter what this guy is put on, or whatever. You always pick him out of a crowd. He's been a great for so long. In the way of South African football, he's like South African football royalty, really.
Coming up, of course, even after the tournament, as a look at this shot, flies higher. Is Yaya, who we saw earlier, is going to be a part of that. Sangweni, that's Siabong. They're going to team up together and run some coaching courses in this part of the region for young stars.
Palace next wave from Tetra.
Ox. Indona.
Stronger and stronger. The teams, yeah, as the changes are made.
Every December, there's a tournament that runs in Bergville. We call it the Bergville off-season tournament. And there's a team there called PSG. Ox features for that team. And that's where basically he was able to cut his thread, and eventually he was noticed by Black Leopards and then so on Stellenbosch. He's the king there. When he picks up that ball in that midfield, the whole stadium rolls. Oaks. The success of some of the small tournaments that runs in the off-season and so on.
I remember the first time you were going to that tournament some years ago now.
Yes.
I think you're a regular these days.
Oh, man.
Yeah? That's done by Gowon again. Another on a few occasions, setting up for Aaron! But took him 15 minutes since the start of the tournament, and already we were impressed. Now, the Lesotho group is here. They formed a bit of an army. Good numbers. Great numbers. Right now, they're not getting involved. No, they got nothing to do with this. They're saving their voices for later.
Who would like to miss this occasion? It's not too many teams that makes it to the final. So when you find yourself there, I'm sure a lot will have decided right away to drive yesterday or maybe some this morning to make it here. It's not too far from Durban, by the way.
The few that were with the Lesotho League, you said, throughout the group stages and going into the semi-finals were great. Nice to see the numbers have increased considerably. That the groups of fans we've had by the nation here have really done their bit in making sure they've made this Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup memorable. Human. Tata. Early ball in, then it's well rushed to deny Mkhaila. A chance of finding a teammate. Now, Malawi. It's on the far side. That's where the intention was to play the ball. Difficulty level on that ball was extreme. Here's the K. Talking about difficulty level, how's that? And he's found these guys. Babas.
Which I mentioned in his absence. It would have been difficult to find anybody opening up on the right hand side of the attack. Now that Mokhail is there and suddenly Lake is beginning to find him with regularity.
Here he is in the middle of the park. South Africa is really tense here. The shots! Keeper needs a couple of attempts, but he's got the good in the save. Brighton entirely. I believe it was human. The man at the ninth, and after an impressive piece of play, starting off with the case straight down the middle from the South Africans.
The challenge for golf is if you go down, you've got to be prepared to get up as quick as you can. There's an exercise, there's a drill that helps them with that. And Italy was excellent in the way that he did it. Otherwise, he would have been punished for that.
Gitana, the next touch into his path. Tetwa. Gainers with a good bit of vision, open it up to the far side. Kakai. The up push forward now, the case in range. First thing I thought when I saw him there.
And for me, I'm looking at this left-hand side of the channel. I'm like, where is Lake? And it looks like there's a change in his position. I still must confirm it whether he's actually playing a little bit into the middle or is it because he moves into that part.
Now, that run. And Petela has no worries. Tell you why there could be a change. It looks like 4 now, as the ball is played in. And hey! After looking to confirm the central 2 after both Kumete and Mohammed were substituted. Sejani, substitutes out of the back 4, 3 are out. Zbekler is now looking a player that's way more central, wearing the number 14 jersey.
Zbekler. Coaches need to be given credit. I spoke about the mindset coming into playing for a dead place. It is considered a nothing plate or a nothing bronze, but it's been impressive how this team has come out and played. But I think where the coaches did very well is to blend the team with the fresh ones who still still hungry to prove something of their own. So that must have helped lift the game to another level.
Okay, if you are just joining us, I think you've done the 4th playoff and looking at the scoreline and thinking, well, no surprise, no. We bet you differ. And the many out in the stands here would also prove you wrong. It's been properly entertaining this game. It's not from a lack of trying.
No.
With good saves from the likes of Brighton entirely, as well as all the way to Zimena. The scoreline remains at 0-0.
Not just the goals, or should I say the attempts, but the build-up play.
Yep.
The intensity of the game that is played.
And the
combinations is very competitive.
This is okay.
And you, of course, agree with me that the noise that we heard earlier from the Malawian fans has since died down. And that's when I say it for me. It looks like Bafana Bafana has picked up the ante a little bit.
Malawi looking dangerous on that far side. Angle was near impossible. It would have needed something extremely special from a man who's coming off the bench, Alec Lungu. Look at that, judges joining us. Shot at goal, 15 for Malawi, 13 for the South Africans. Just to prove our point, on target tells you a story. keepers have been busy.
Very. And I think most of these happened in the first half for Malawi. But Bafana Bafana has picked up in the second half.
True that. Now, Kakani and Svetlela look to be the two remaining central defenders here. Look at the K here, center your picture.
Yeah.
Showing it. So it's a hard one to call, this one, in the way of the formation. When they have the ball, it looks as though the K is almost in front of the two defenders along with Kobedi. And it's also interesting watching then the movement of the three in front of the two are Lake, Kobedi, as well as Umteto.
Here is the other thing. In the three of Bafana Bafana, it is a three. In the three, Svetlela is a left-footed defender, central defender in this case.
The ball very nearly kept alive then.
And so what it means is if the attack is coming on the left-hand side of the defense, it's easy for him to move out and cover that area. And then Lake, what he can do is cover the central part. But as long as it is they're in position, he's set to be a little bit in the midfield. They're trying to concentrate their attack a little bit more central.
Also been very interested whenever they drop back in watching the communication between them. There's times, like you say, when Lake will instruct Svetlela to push on to the left, I've got you covered here. And likewise for the likes of Askakani on the far side. As we look back at this moment, you can see what he's trying to do. Sneak in then. Mabasa got the last touch into touch. Felt he was fouled. He thought it should be a penalty. Welcome to the international game, boys, where the strikers at times will get the better of you if you're a central defender, and you'll feel their presence. It's been the same when the big Malawian striker, Kumwembe, faced others in the group stages. Left the men from the Seychelles battered and bruised at times. Babasa doing likewise here. For Chembezi, even him battered and bruised. But of course, the semi-finals, you are wondering, where South Africa lost, got a chance to see him after the game, asked him if he's staying on until the final, now that we got in the semi-finals. He didn't give me a yes or a no. Nice to see that he stayed on.
If you know that song, no, I'm not sure who's the artist. Wherever I lay my head is my home. That's water for you. He's got homes all over South Africa. He's one man that will never lack a place to sleep.
Now, ball in. Well defended. Going into the last 10. The scores now could very well win themselves a bronze medal.
There is Svetlela coming out like that defensive move, covering the left-hand side.
3 now at the back. See the long shade of the main grandstand now reaching the far grandstand and almost covering the entire field, covering 3/4 of the field. Tell you, the longer the shades get, or the shadows, the cooler and colder it will get going into the evening time after a lovely day in the way of the weather that has allowed many to come out here and show their love and appreciation for the game. Tetra.
Not in the same wavelength.
Far from it. Now, there was a moment in the early stages of the second half when the changes were made by South Africa where they were heading box entries and creating chances and good moments, forcing saves out of Montale. Then, shortly after that, the likes of Aaron were introduced onto the game, Shonga. You remember, as well as some of the heavy hitters, Sanudi the captain as well. And since then, dare I argue, South Africa has created less in the way of goal scoring opportunities. It's become a much more even game once again. So that advantage was maybe 10 minutes or so in favour of the South Africans in the way of momentum. Once Mabedi read it, he dealt with it, and he's kept things quiet to a point where his side now has a set piece in a good area. So, Zimela to organise, Kaonga, the man's fouls. Malawi, the team with the chance. Lungu amongst those standing over it. Itana it is, looking for the teammate. Far post! Not enough power on the ball coming in, so difficult to generate power with the header. Plus the positioning from Zimela meant, well, there's little chance for Malawi to get it beyond him.
Which is why sometimes a diving header is helpful, because as you dive you generate the power that you're talking about than heading it from a running position.
Tet. Mikhaila, back to Tetra. Interesting shape taken up here by the Malawans, where just about everybody is in the defensive third here, including the big number 9, Kumwembe. Now, high line and solid work defensively. Corner, it's a rather goal kick. Mali friends, the chance of Mali going in towards the last 5 minutes. Go bait. Interesting ball. No chances taken defensively. Chibalanga really has been impressive here today. As one of those who came into this game lacking in game time. His first showing of this tournament, the Mafco man, enjoying not only his first showing in the tournament, but it looks as though he'll see out the game here. Now, bit of space to turn here for Human, set up for that right foot, shapes for the shot. Spin out wide, Yamakaila with the good number of targets inside that box. Rainers, now, too many touches. Okay. Very narrow from a South African point of view. Idada. Let's turn here. Positive run. Sanudi. Not too many targets in the box, although once again here, looking for the 1-2. Powering forward is going in the end. Is clever defensive play from Leke.
'85th minute. Not much left. Could he start maybe looking way ahead of us and say this is going to a shootout? Not the best way to finish a match. It was well contested.
If it is to be a shootout, it will be the second shootout in a row for the Malawans. They've, of course, just come out of a shootout that wasn't very, well, it was a bit of a nightmare for them, I think it's safe to say. A shootout where they weren't able to score one. Denied by some great goalkeeping from Werani between the six for Lesotho. Saved the first three, then went on to score the winning penalty for Lesotho. Just to add salt to the wound as to who the true hero was.
Traumatic experience for Malawi. And I hope that's not going to haunt them, not going into that shootout again. But also it might work in very handy because those players would like to prove differently.
Strong play, positive play. Now needs a teammate to float to, just didn't have one timelessly enough. Kumwembe. Now was there an off-the-ball incident with a man down then for Malawi. South Africa pushing on. Rainers not allowed to get it onto their strong right foot. Mabasa. Now, Malawi fans are far from happy. As that attack happened, one of theirs went down and looked as though it was the man marking Rainers. So the suspicion is of an off-the-ball incident. Then again, when you look at Ramek and where he's clutching at his leg, he may have pulled something.
Or it might be a cramp.
Or it could be a cramp.
I think looking at how these players have exacted themselves, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a cramp. Standing together for now.
Yeah, I raised that picture. Sundowns with the Pirates fan. Both of the same feeling. But let's get it on with, let's get it going. Get him off the field, let's get the ball rolling once again. So we'll be hoping Ramek will be back on the field, yeah. Now, interesting. They lost that game 3-0 on penalties against Lesotho, right? They had scored a penalty in that game, and the penalty scorer was a Kaonga, if memory serves me right, to get them into that 1-1 scoreline that took them to the shootout. Kaonga wasn't amongst the players available for the shootout later on because he was substituted. Same for the likes of Saizi, who wasn't in that game.
Yeah.
Same for the big striker, Kumwembe, who then was substituted leading up to the later stages of that game. So they may have a stronger looking five, I mean, for the penalty shootouts, with some of their stars on now.
And more attacking players naturally.
Yeah, having started them off the bench. Which won't go well for the South Africans. It'll mean a much better looking Malawi going into the next shootout, so we can't read much into the fact that they didn't score at all against the Lesotho side. So we've only had one 0-0 scoreline. It involved Botswana in their very last game in the group stages. We look to be having our second on the way, unless South Africa going to score here. That
Going nowhere fast. Good changes made into the second half by the Marubudi. And when they came in, yes, there was a change, but I feel like they're a team that die away as the game progresses into those last minutes. Set piece. doesn't go past the first line of defense. Is he staying at City, or is he going to move back to Mamelodi Sundowns?
And
Big
the big
question.
Questions which, of course, will be answered in the next few weeks. Human. Tanudi there to deal with it. Keep an eye on Reyners, knowing how troublesome he can be. Now, especially on the far side. Good and dealt with. At the expense of a throw-in on the edge of the final third. There you have it. 2 minutes added on to the 90 have come and gone. So, in the battle of the team to finish third, this year's Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup is no separating Patrick Mabedi and Maran Ramalibodi's sides here. South Africa and Malawi with good entertainment and a quality game minus the goals here. We'll finish it off from the penalty spot. And for Mabedi is as you were at the end of the semi-final that got him into this position. Malawi no, South Africa no. And we will go to a penalty shootout to separate the two and find out who gets the bronze medal. So, Malawi, with the early moments in the, well, this was a rather interesting moment here where Zimela took the ball, placed it on the crossbar. Literally did that if you're not too sure. This will give you a better picture.
I'm not sure if that was deliberate. He might not have proper handling.
No.
This for me was a golden chance for Malawi. It just needed that player who was lacking a closer in the inside of the box to get a touch. All that he needed was a touch. He missed it completely, but still, goalkeeper needed to make a save.
Well, they were making positive moves and runs into the South African box. Nice entries for Malawi in that first half. How's this, buddy? Great positional play by Zimela. Super strike then from Mapemba, who went on to be replaced in the second half of that game. Now, Human, not much to aim for, but still gets the best out of Brighton Muntali. Looking for power to blast beyond Muntali then, who was well positioned himself. Second half of just done. Rayners could have, maybe should have scored.
Listen, this game had no business ending up 0-0. The chance created, at least one of the two should have had the chance, but I think it was a game of missed chances more than anything. I mean, that one, for a man that we know his form in front of goal can do.
So we get closer and closer to that shootout, but let's look at the numbers here. No business ending with a 0-0 scoreline when you got 16 goal attempts and close to 16 on target, 15 shots on target. And 16 from one side, another 14 goal attempts from another.
Yeah.
16 or 15 goal attempts on, when you combine the two. Very even game though. And the goal possession stats will tell you it was a close game. All it needed was a goal and to be concluded inside 90 minutes. So it won't, meaning we'll go to, well, the penalty shootout. Others dread, others enjoy. I myself am certainly looking forward to it. And these two sides will look to pick a five here that will step up and try and get the better of the two goalkeepers. Speaking of goalkeepers, one was an absolute hero. The last penalty shootout we witnessed a couple of days ago here for Lesotho Murani, outstanding. Saving 3, scoring 1. Absolute hero on the day. So the pressure now, well, not so much of it on Montani and Zimena, who are the two goalkeepers on either side here. Definite pressure will be on the 5 that step forward from the penalty spot. Or to the penalty spot, I should say. So, okay, the first to step forward, yes, South Africa would hope to take the initiative. As the match referee, Evan Medisa, is going through the rules with both goalkeepers.
Then, another one. Your foot, either this side, one this side, one this side. Not one side this side. You understand? On the line or either under behind. Please, guys. Please. I beg you. Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Clear. The instructions then. What did you see to it? What did you say? Montani hoping to deny the K. The K hoping to give South Africa the advantage from the spot here. Turns it the wrong way. Easy does it.
I've seen many penalties taken in this fashion, but you know, just how much you open your feet to still get it right is not the easiest. But if you get it right, it is surely going to send the goalkeeper the opposite direction. Well taken penalty, nice and low.
So the man who scored against Lesotho from the spots will be the first to step up here and try and be the first for Malawi to score in a penalty shootout. They had one other penalty shootout, didn't convert one.
Zimela needs lots of nerves. He's soon geared up for it.
Going against Zimena. Malawi looking to level things in the shootout, and Zimena gets hands onto it, but can't deny Malawi.
Difference was the power applied to that take. Yes, chose right, the height was excellent, that's why he gets to it, but the power was a difference. I have a lot more to say about something else that he could have done, maybe later. As you look at Mohaile, setting up for himself, looking to make it 2 for Bafana.
Up against Montani. Can he keep Bafana in the advantage? Mohaile. Taking his time about it. Easy cover, blasted the other way.
There's nothing to say about it, but once again, to me, I like the power. And also, the right-footed player is more likely to twist it into the right of the goalkeeper. %100% record so far for Bafana.
Well, the next man under pressure is Chazia, the central defender, is going to step forward here.
Oh, he seems to be enjoying himself. Mzimela. He's smiling. Not at all intimidated by the occasion.
So, Lawrence Chazia looking to take his smile away from him. Keep it level for Malawi. Does so with ease. Makes it look easy. 2-2.
Brilliant to take in. Rolls it more than anything. Yeah.
Outside of your picture, Chazia's getting them worked up out in the stands, the Malawian fans. Now for the South Africans now, stepping forward. There's Ikram Reyners. There's Reyners! Again. This time it's Muntadi who gets a hand onto it, but still enough power to see it push on through and maintain the advantage for South Africa.
Count yourself lucky, Reyners. The goalkeeper always good hands to it, and the whole body for that matter. But just the placement of the hand, sliding on the upside, which helps tilts the ball into the back of the net.
Well, the pressure will increase the further we go into it. Aaron is the man that's up next. Lloyd Benega Aaron. This the only game he started on the bench, came on in the second half. So here he is against Zimela. Trails it home for Malawi. 6 takers, 6 scorers so far in this penalty shootout. Mabasa next up. Pressure surely will be increasing on these players as we near the end of the first 5, if there is to be more than the 5. We'll have to wait and see, but for now, Mabasa is the man on the hotspot. Up against Brian Montali, he's come close to 1. Can he save 1? Or is it Mabasa to keep the advantage and pressure on Malawi? Advantage for South Africa. There is Mabasa! Advantage South Africa, pressure Malawi. Kumwembe with Zimemba getting the crowd worked up and shouts of keeper, keeper. Coming to the fore here. Kumwembe off the underside of the bar and out. Real pressure on Malawi now. Real advantage for South Africa. That could very well be the turning point. They got behind Zimela at a crucial point here to the South Africans. Shouts of keeper, keeper all around the stadium. End results. Underside of the bar and doesn't cross the goal line, quite importantly. Celebrations from the South Africans knowing if they score the next, it's curtains. Lancaster Human, with the South Africans finding their voices out in the stands and a chance to end this now for South Africa and confirm the bronze medal for he and his side. Human! bronze medalists for the host South Africa at the 22nd edition of the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup. Ramanabodi, who'd won gold before, will settle for the bronze after Human with a little stumbling start. Had enough to put Muntali off. Well, it was entertaining all the way through to the penalty shootout. It was entertaining, this third and fourth playout, and the crowds that had come out to the stands here made it thoroughly memorable. The competitive edge between these two sides, impressive. Only thing missing was goals in the 90. Other than that, we were treated to a good game of football and a crowd that came out in its numbers and was very engaged. Overall, Malawi has been great. Their fans have been super. And we'll remember them with this class that has got as far as the semi-finals under Patrick Mabedi, but was amongst the best sides in entertainment and quality at this COSAFA Cup that only got as far as the semi-finals. For Ramanabodi and his South African side, well, they had the likes of Rainers, who was so impressive going forward, and many others, and then have positives of their own, including a vibrant South African crowd that came out and got behind them here at Tegwini. So, South Africa win on penalties with a scoreline of 5-3 to get the bronze medal after it had ended with a 0-0 scoreline at the end of 90. Let's not forget, later on, Lesotho will be in action. Their fans, well, they showed no emotion at all during the third and fourth playoffs, saving their voices and their energy for the mighty, mighty battle that lies ahead against Zambia in the final. Lesotho looking for their first ever Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup win. Zambia looking for their 7th as we go down to William Shongwe with our man of the match, including the coaches in the battle for third place.
Player of the match award goes to Kawonga of Malawi. Congratulations, sir. Please, Indira Albuquerque is here to present the award. Well done, son. Kawonga, you've been working at this, trying so hard and giving it your best. You finally awarded, but sadly, you lost the bronze medal.
Yeah, it was not easy game to us, but we tried our best because this competition, it was not easy, but we tried as a Malawi. I think Malawi is proud for us.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Coming up, of course, is Patrick Mabedi of Malawi. Coach, the team did everything in the book to try and win this game. I was not too sure about the changes made, but they still gave it their all.
Yeah, look, it was a tactical game. I think first I need to thank the organizer and the technical team and the players. They did well. They gave a good show. No one never expected us to reach this far, but penalties, it's anyone's game.
Yes.
But I need to say we learned a lot and we did our best, and I'm proud of the boys. We head up, we're going like champions. If it was a league, I was still going to be a champion because we never lose to any team. I mean, we just consider penalties and penalties. But overall, I'm happy with my team.
Well done again, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And of course, coming up now is the winning coach, Ramorebodi. Yes, yes. At least a little bit of something to take home and just to give a little bit of something to celebrate for the fans that are here.
To be honest, as much as I'm happy that we won, but I'm very, very happy with these guys, how they performed, how they were behaving in and off the field. They are true professionals. I still believe that most of them can still contribute a lot into South African football. And congratulations to them.
Zimela in goals.
Zimela in goals. The future of South African football. The boy is so good. He's so good. Very, very, very confident. If you looked at what he did when they were going for the fourth penalty, you could see how confident he was. He knew that this was the penalty to take, and he did exactly that.
Coach, well done once again.
Thanks a lot, and thanks to South Africans, and thanks once again to South African Football Association, Dr. Denny Jordan, the technical committee, TD, and as well as the CEO. I really want to take this opportunity to thank them for the opportunity and the opportunity they presented to these boys as well. Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it. A happy South African coach and a satisfied Malawian coach as South Africa win the bronze medal on penalties then. So, keep in mind, later on we will bring you Lesotho up against Zambia. Kickoff in under an hour. It's one to look forward to.